Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, and I want to share my experience with the Tata Nexon that I've owned roughly for about 1 year, 9 months now. And basically, I don't want to share anything that's good because there are tons of videos about the review of this particular vehicle and the new version as well, the new facelift as well. So I have the older one, which is pre 2023. I think that's when they introduced the new facelift. But okay, I'm not sure. Yeah, but what I want to share is there's a couple of major issues that I've faced in this vehicle, and I don't know if you have faced similar issues or am I the only one who's going through this. So yeah, anyway, let's get straight to the point. So one of the first issues that I faced was right after the first servicing. Uh, there was an engine oil leak that I noticed in the parking, and this was right under the engine, of course. And when I inspected closely, I could not figure it out. So I took it immediately to the service center. Once we were there, I think they took some time because they figured out that the engine oil was leaking from somewhere in between the turbo and the engine. There's a small gap in between those two. So they kept it for about 2-3 days. Later on, they told me that it was leaking from the oil pan assembly at the bottom of the engine. So that's where the engine oil leak came from. So anyway, that was resolved within warranty, so well and good. The only issue that I have with that particular servicing was that I had to bear the cost of the engine oil that actually leaked out, which was no fault of mine, but apparently I still had to pay because consumables are something that they would bill and that is not covered in the warranty. ठीक है, it's okay. ठीक है, that was resolved. 2 months or 1 month down the line, after that service, uh, I had some noise from the driver's side, right side front suspension, and I told them about this particular noise. So they again kept it for 1 or 2 days. Could not find the issue. Could not find the noise. But what they found was there was an issue with the suspension, and uh, what was it? The compression happened, but there was no rebound at the rate that it is supposed to happen. So that they found it faulty and they replaced it again under warranty, which is okay. But the initial issue that I had complained about, which is the noise on this side, uh, they did not resolve that. They could not resolve that. So anyway, a couple of months passed again. In between, what happened was, I mean, I tend to check my vehicles now and then, like just to see if everything's okay. I also fill my washer fluid every now and then. So during one of those times, I noticed that there was some, I think, engine oil or grease on the right side, sorry, left side of the vehicle again. And this time I could not find what it was. Again, back to the service center. So this time, turns out one of the drive shaft boot, the rubber boot that covers the drive shaft. There's a joint. I don't know what joint you call it. There's a specific term for it. Do let me know in the comments. I'm kind of forgetting right now. But yeah, that boot covers that particular joint, and it needs a lot of greasing because there's a lot of friction in that area. So that broke, and I do not know how that broke because I've been pretty much driving on road, not even going off road. But even then, even if I went off road, I see that the lower arm of the suspension, uh, that is below the boot. So there is, I think a stone has to come at a very peculiar or a very specific angle to hit the boot and actually break it. But I don't know why the boot broke. But this time they tell me that Tata does not sell just the boot. You have to buy the entire drive shaft, which didn't make sense to me. So yeah, so then they said they'll try to find a boot if they can from a car that is there, if they could salvage it. But I had no hopes of that. So what I did was I actually bought the boot from Boardmore and gave it to them. They replaced it. No repair charges, of course. But then what surprised me is that I'm able to buy that boot aftermarket from a site that sells a lot of spare parts. But that same part is not available with Tata, which is like doesn't make sense. And it's a rubber part. It's not that expensive. It's not that you know it should be available. These rubber parts tend to harden up over time and then break. But of course, apparently they don't sell that. So anyway, that was sorted. And then finally, in the meantime, I mean that noise from the right side suspension in the front still not resolved. So what we did was, I think during the third service, I actually sat with the service advisor for quite some time. We tried to figure it out. They opened up that entire suspension unit from this side, and what they found was the lower arm bush of this vehicle, I mean on the right side, that had broken, and that is something again which is like not expected. So this was like the third part that actually broke. Fourth, in fact. Uh, yeah, that again they weren't sure if that would be replaced in the warranty, because it is a part that is not covered, because again the part which is broken is actually a rubber part. The arm was actually okay, it was just the bushing. I don't know whether it's rubber plastic. So yeah, that is not covered again. But so I had to pay for it initially, but what they did tell me is like they'll take about a month to figure it out if the warranty can be claimed, and if it can be claimed, then it would be refunded to me, which actually they did manage to claim it, and the amount was refunded back to me. But I mean, right now the question that I have in my head is like, how reliable is this vehicle? I mean, there's a part that is breaking every 6 months, let's say 1 year, 9 months, yeah, so roughly 6 months. Uh, you kind of lose confidence in your vehicle, and I mean, I primarily use the vehicle on the highway. City, I use my bike. So every time I decide, ki, chalo, let's go to the highway, or let's go here, um, you're not sure if the vehicle will take you there and bring you back. So reliability has become a question with this vehicle, and I just wanted to share this thought of mine or the experience of mine with anybody who's planning to buy, or if anybody has faced similar issue, and we can share our, what do you call, experiences, and maybe bring this up with Tata. Uh, yeah, apart from that, nothing major. The car is actually pretty good. Seating is really comfortable. For the highways, it's actually pretty perfect. It's just the minor, not minor, I mean, like, some of the issues that have been cropping up every now and then. That is what is a little annoying. So, yeah, do let me know if this video comes in handy. Do share your experience if you've come, or if you've faced anything similar with your Tata vehicle in general, or Nexon specifically. And yeah, that's it. Take care. Bye bye.